Welcome to our pre-intro intro that John and I decided to do. I know, that's a mouthful. Basically, we showed up to Winterport loaded to hunt bear. We showed up with a 42 sprocket. We showed up with all the stage 1 kit stuff. We showed up with stage 1 exhaust. We showed up with all of it in order to be able to go from a baseline run. Well, we intended to do 2 baseline runs and then start adding parts and doing more runs in order to see what actually changed things. And before we got there, there was a massive wreck down one side that totaled the guy's car and stuff like that. Out of respect, I'm not going to post any photos of it. But basically, it ripped out the entire timing system, and they tried to rig the timing system together for the rest of the day as best they could, but it constantly was gremlins all day. So we ended up with 2 runs in order to set a base time, and we can tell you that a stock Coleman ct200 with an engine set for 4200 RPM on a 62 sprocket on the stock clutch gearing does a grand total of 19 miles per hour, and it does a pass on an 1/8 mile of about 25 seconds. If you want to watch the rest of the video in order to see us dealing with some stuff and to see John's walk around and interview with some other drivers and see some really cool cars, that's what the rest of this video is going to be. I'm going to include the video of us taking off where I almost crashed it into the tree and stuff like that, because 62 equals a lot of torque, and apparently they put fresh grip down on the track literally 2 days before we got there. And yeah, so here's our pre-intro intro to the fact that everything we say in our intro doesn't get to happen. Redneck Computer Geek here. As you can see, we got the mini bike, we got Van Hollen. We are at the absolutely beautiful 8th mile at Winterport drag strip over here. We got passed in on tech. Right now, this machine is absolutely about as close to stock as you can get. Engine has nothing done to it other than a breather valve on it. It's got a 60-tooth rear sprocket, so it is going to be slow as all get out, but it's going to be torquey. We're going to go set a baseline, and then we're going to start monkeying with 1 or 2 things after we set a couple of baselines. One of the big things is probably a 42 sprocket on the rear. We've also got a couple of clutches. We've got chain. We've got the start of a stage 1 kit. We're basically only going to monkey with stuff that does not require us to get in the engine today. So let's go have some fun. Oh, and John's with me. He's just up filming already because that's what he likes to be up there doing. Seeing the burnouts and the filming. Well guys, here we go for a baseline. Hopefully you can hear me. We're at 28 with a grand total of 17 miles per hour. I'm pretty sure that would be the 62 right there. John managed to catch me in video, almost dump it. We're going to try one more run on this, and then I'm not going to even bother on this 62th anymore. We're going to swap it out, and then probably do a ghetto governor delete on this with a zip tie. Because I also noticed we were only tacking out at 3600, which is really what it should be on the governor setting for this.
So what kind of car is it?
It's a 73 Opel GT with a big block Chevy.
Huh. How long did it take to make?
We worked on it all winter.
Really?
All winter.
Is this the first drive of it?
It's never been down the track. Nope.
And how about this over here?
Front engine dragster with a small block Chevy.
And then some junior dragsters over there.
Some junior dragsters, yep.
we ever get back.
We're gonna get the inside too. There's one of the drivers right there. Mom. Say hi. Mom. Yeah.
There's no big tire car.
I have always said that I am willing to look like an idiot just for somebody else to learn at my expense. And this right here is a prime example of it. Alternating nubby tires at 20 miles per hour on a drag strip and being stupid enough to forget to put your elbows down and brace them on your knees. Noob. I totally pulled a noob. Well guys, right now we don't have the nice pretty handle on here because what we actually figured out was the cheap handle was spinning and I wasn't actually getting full RPM out of this thing. So we only did 3,600 because it sat on the governor. This overrides the governor a little bit with this new setup, so that puts us at 4,200 RPM with a 62 rear with the stock setup, and that put us at a grand whopping total of almost 20 miles per hour. So we cut off some time. We had a launch that was a heck of a lot nicer than the last time. But I think at this time it's time to start thinking about putting a different rear sprocket on and see if we can't up it a bit. Alright, we're gonna see if we can swap this 40 on. Like I said, we're not doing anything in the engine just yet. We're just all on break-in right now. So this is the 62 that was on it. This is the 40 we're gonna throw on from Amazon. I had a real one coming in, but we'll try that later. Right now, we're just gonna get this hammered on there.
What kind of car is it?
It's a 34 Topolino. Fiat Topolino.
How fast does it go?
I don't know yet.
First race?
I've been 5.4 here.
Huh.
125. But,
Wow.
we just freshened the engine, so I went bigger. Bigger, better, faster.
How expensive was all this to make?
Excuse me?
How expensive was all this to make? How expensive was all this to make?
The car came from Florida.
Really?
With no motor. This gentleman over here, Kevin Moody, built the engine for me. Originally.
Yeah.
It was 496 stroke.
Huh.
It still is.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Give it to him. Don't fucking.
42. Much nicer. 42, much nicer. You can feel the gradual hit on it. I'm not sure how long the max torque clutch is going to last on this idea. A lot of online people say that you're just going to roast this stupid thing. So we're going to try it. We're going to go find out what we can hit. Again, all we swapped out was a 42 sprocket and cut the chain. Here we go. Hey guys, at the end of the day, we can control a lot of things. We can control putting a 42 sprocket on that we didn't get to test. We can control fixing it and getting everything ready on the brakes that decided to lock up after we tried it with the 42 sprocket. But what we can't control is when the timing system fails and when Mother Nature decides to rain. Unfortunately, earlier today there was a really massive crash that happened, and it took out the timing system wiring all down one side, and we hope that that person is okay. We hope that everything for them works out. A person is more important than a timing system, but unfortunately there were gremlins all day, but the machine ran. We made it down the track. We got some footage. John got to go and get used to things again for this year, and he had fun. He got to go sit in somebody's dragster that's a lot cooler than mine. I'll post a picture of that at some point. But yeah, it was a good day. Unfortunately, life happens. It's one of those things. It's part of racing life is just things go wrong, and you got to roll with them. We'll catch you guys on the next one when we probably have better tires, probably put a stage 1 kit on, and we may or may not attempt to install the torque converter system while we're here at the track and take it out for a test on the next video. In theory, we should be able to install the torque converter system and use the exact same chain that's on the rear already. In theory. We might try that here at the track. We'll see. Hi, John. You've been a good cameraman. You made your 20 bucks today, even though I didn't get anything more than like 2 runs, which was a really extreme investment of $46 plus $20 for you. I'm out 60 something. On that note, if you want to support us on Patreon so I can pay John for all the filming he does for you guys, we'd appreciate that too. Have a good day.